This cruise line has been called a disaster, a joke, a floating dumpster fire doused in cheap tequila. And with the stuff people post online, honestly, it's hard to argue. But I did something most people don't. I actually went, and what happened on that ship wasn't at all what I expected. In fact, by the end, I was questioning everything I thought I knew about this cruise line. So before you write them off, let me show you what really happened on board, because it wasn't what you think. Hey y'all, I'm Evan with Family at Sea, where we help make every cruise unforgettable. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most controversial and misunderstood cruise experiences out there, Margaritaville at Sea. If you've seen the reviews, the TikToks, or even just heard the name tossed around in Facebook groups, you probably think you already know what this cruise line is all about. But what I experienced on board caught me completely off guard. So in this video, I'm going to share with you which parts of Margaritaville's reputation are earned and which ones are flat out wrong. What makes this cruise wildly different from anything else at sea, and why this might be one of cruising's most surprising and time-sensitive secrets. So stick around as I unpack the cruise that flipped everything I thought I knew about Margaritaville at Sea upside down. If you're ready, I am. Let's go. Alright, let's just get it out there. Margaritaville at Sea has the worst reputation of any cruise line in North America. Across YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, it's been dragged through the sand and back again, and you'll see titles like Never Again and North America's Worst Cruise Ship and the Dollar Tree of the Seas, and honestly, they've earned that rep in some ways. One of their ships was literally denied permission to sail by the Coast Guard due to safety concerns. Others call it a cruise line stuck in a time warp, or a floating relic with a bar tab. Evan, someone said their cruise ships look like a cruise ship that lost a bet and are in worse condition than the Titanic. That's certainly one way to put it. People roast the decor, the food, the vibe, the boarding process, even the signage. One creator said their stateroom smelled like stale sunscreen and regret. Another compared the muster drill to a hostage situation with a karaoke machine. And the thing is, it's kind of become a sport to dunk on Margaritaville at Sea. It's a meme, a punchline, the cruise line version of Florida Man. But here's what nobody talks about. Behind all that noise, is there actually something worth seeing? Because when a cruise line becomes this easy to hate, you have to wonder if people stopped being honest and started just piling on to get cheap clicks. So the first time I stepped on board a Margaritaville at Sea ship, I was fully expecting chaos. Bad food, bad vibes, drunk people doing the Macarena by 3 p.m. And yeah, some of that was definitely there, but what I didn't expect was how quickly things started to shift. It started small, like how the crew actually seemed happy to be there. Not fake cruise smile happy, but genuinely warm. Then I ordered the food expecting a disaster, and it came out hot, flavorful, and honestly delicious. Not everything was perfect though. The buffet still felt like a retro cafeteria, and the signage made getting around feel like a Margaritaville themed escape room at times, with patches layered on top of patches every time something changed instead of making a new sign. But something about the vibe was different. It wasn't trying to impress me, it wasn't trying to be fancy, it just owned what it was and leaned all the way in. That's when I started to get it. This isn't some sad knockoff cruise line, it's something else entirely. And the deeper I went, the more obvious that became. And then it hit me. Margaritaville at Sea isn't trying to be Royal Caribbean or Carnival or literally anyone else. It's not a traditional cruise. It's an escape pod in flip-flops built for people who don't care about lobster night or ballroom elegance. It's a shot of sunshine and rum for people who want to check out, not dress up. There's no robotic bartenders, no virtual reality lounges, and no ice skating rinks, but what they do have actually surprised me. There's energy, there's connection, and there's fun in a raw, unfiltered, slightly chaotic kind of way. And once you realize that, the mismatched deck chairs don't matter. The missing blackout curtain doesn't matter. You stop comparing and you start enjoying it for what it actually is. So wait, Evan, it was never meant to be the same kind of cruise? Exactly. It's not trying to be like anything or anybody else, and that's what makes it work. It's not trying to trick you. It's not trying to pretend to be luxurious. It's telling you upfront, you're here to let loose, eat a burger, and forget what day it is. And for the people this is built for, it absolutely works. And if you're one of those people ready to jump in but not sure how to book it right, I've got you covered. While I normally send folks to my friends at Cruises It, when it comes to Margaritaville at Sea, there's one person I trust above all. My friend Kimberly at ET Family Travel. She knows this cruise line better than anyone and has helped tons of travelers plan the perfect trip. I'll put an email on the screen and in the description below that connects you with both Kimberly and myself directly so we can both help you get the best cruise at the best possible price with no guesswork. For me, the turning point wasn't the food or the shows or even the island vibes. It was the people, the crew, the passengers, the atmosphere that somehow managed to be chaotic and welcoming all at once. You could feel it at the 5 o'clock somewhere bar, packed, loud, offbeat, and alive. Not polished, not trying too hard, just real. I watched strangers become friends over karaoke. I saw the entertainment team giving 110% like they were headlining a Vegas show. And somehow it worked. And that's the secret no one talks about. This cruise line doesn't succeed because it hides its flaws. It succeeds because it embraces them. It doesn't need to impress everyone. It just needs to create the kind of trip that makes the right people say, that was exactly what I needed. And those people, they're not few and far between. They're already coming back for a second or an eighth sailing. Right now, Margaritaville at Sea is still flying under the radar. Most people still think it's a joke, but the people who've actually sailed it, a lot of them are coming back. Some are even booking back-to-back cruises. And as the cruise line adds longer itineraries, adds a third ship to their fleet, and starts to figure out who they're really for, that under-the-radar vibe, well, it's not gonna last. The prices are already creeping up. The crowds are starting to shift. And once enough people realize this isn't the disaster they expected, it's game over for the hidden gem status. So Evan, this version of the cruise, it won't stay under the radar forever? Exactly, and if you're curious, now is the time to see what it's really like before everyone else figures it out. Let me be clear, Margaritaville at Sea isn't for everyone. If you're looking for gourmet dining, spa retreats, and an infinity pool overlooking a private island, keep scrolling. This isn't that. But if you want a low-pressure, no-frills, Jimmy Buffett-soaked getaway that doesn't take itself too seriously, you might love this cruise line more than you expect. It's great for friend groups, birthday trips, last-minute escapes, and anyone who hears quick, affordable cruise to the Bahamas and thinks, yeah, why not? So Evan, it's better than people say, just in a totally different way? Yeah, that's exactly right. It's not better because it defies expectations. It's better because it reframes them. And if you're the kind of person who cares more about good company than perfect polish, you'll feel right at home. I'll be the first to admit, Margaritaville at Sea was never on my must-sail list, but I gave it a shot. And what I found wasn't a punchline. It was a cruise line that knows exactly who it's for, and it's doing a better job than anyone's given it credit for. No, it's not luxury, and it's definitely not cutting edge, but it's also not trying to be. It's fun, it's freeing, and for the right traveler, it delivers way more than the price tag would ever suggest. So if you've written this cruise line off because of the jokes, the headlines, or the early reviews, I get it, but maybe, just maybe, it's time to take a second look, because it turns out the biggest surprise about Margaritaville at Sea isn't what it is, it's how wrong we all were about what it's not. But here's the thing, this video only scratches the surface. If you want to see what it's really like on board, from the quirky details to the unexpected moments, I filmed the entire experience on both the Paradise and the Islander, and you can watch those full vlogs now on my second channel, Family at Sea Adventures. It's honest, it's unfiltered, and yeah, there's a few things you'll definitely want to see for yourself. If you're ready, I am. Let's go.